Okay, Rabotai, good morning. We are continuing in Siman Memvav in Halacha Aleph. So there we're going to speak about the halacha that when a person wakes up in the morning and he places his foot on the ground, he has to say the blessing of Baruch Ata Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam Rokah Haaretz Al Hamayim. That Hashem is the one who spreads the earth over the waters. Now, Rabotai, just to get an appreciation of this bracha, if we look into the Chumash in Perek Aleph in Pasuk Tet, it says over there, Vayomer Elohim Yikvu Hamayim Mitachat Hashamayim. Hashem says to the waters. First of all, let me put it with an introduction. When Hashem started creating the world, even prior to the creation of the world, Rabotai, Hashem already created water which filled the entire world. You have to imagine, Rabotai, there was no space, there was no dry land whatsoever. Water was completely filled. So he says over here, Vayomer Elohim Yikvu Hamayim Mitachat Hashamayim El Makom Echad Vatira'eh Hayibasha Vayichi Chen. Hashem says, let the waters gather which are under the heavens to one place, and let the dry land be seen. Rabotai, when we say this bracha of Rokah Haaretz Al Hamayim, we don't understand how powerful this bracha is. We've seen tsunamis, we've seen floods, we've seen water destroy everything. And we walk on dry land, Rabotai. Just the other day, right, on Shabbat, how much rain it was? In one place, they, a puddle gathered. We tried to step on it, we almost got drained in it, right? You almost got sunk in it. You didn't even pay attention. That's how deep it was. We have to be able to appreciate the fact that we are able to walk on dry ground. Rabotai, the idea is that what looks normal today, we take everything for granted. Whatever looks normal today, but really you should know it's a constant miracle, and that's what the pasuk tells us over here. Rashi brings down in the same place, he says, Shituchim hayu al panei kol haaretz, the waters were spread out throughout the whole land. V'kiva'am be'okiyanos, what did Hashem do? He gathered all the waters into one place, into the great ocean. Hu hayam hagadol shebechol hayamim, that is the great ocean from all the oceans, Rabotai. So you see from over here, every second that HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not allow a tsunami to come onto the world, or does not allow floods to come to the world, He's constantly keeping the land dry for a reason. Rabotai, so we'll be able to walk on a do mitzvot, appreciate it. But how many of us, Rabotai, when we wake up in the morning, even when we start our car and drive to shul, how many of us appreciate that we have a car, that we have legs? That's why when it comes to the bracha of Rokah Haaretz Al Hamayim, the Shulchan Aruch says, Kishenich raglav ba'aretz. Would you ever think of that, Yitzchak? What? By me stepping on the ground, I have to bless Hashem? Yes, you have to bless Hashem. Not everybody's able to step on the ground. Chas v'shalom, Rabotai, number one, either if there's a flood, nobody's going nowhere. Number two, Rabotai, sometimes people are bounded to a chair, chas v'shalom. So this blessing of Rokah Haaretz Al Hamayim is a very important blessing that should be said with concentration. Rabotai, today's Musar is going to be speaking about Gadol and Katan. Now, when we speak about Gadol and Katan, we're not speaking about somebody who's old in age and young in age. We're speaking about somebody who's great in Torah. You have Talmidei Chacham that are great in Torah. You have Talmidei Chacham that are lower in their Torah. However, Rabotai, if you have people that are not Talmidei Chachamim, how much more so they have to be careful in this halakha? He brings down over here and he says like this. Ein ze derech eretz katan. Rabotai, listen to this very carefully. Again, when we say katan, we don't mean a child. We mean a person who's lower in stature of learning Torah. Ein ze derech eretz katan yoshev v'nei gadol b'li levakesh rishut. It is not the proper derech. It's not derech eretz that when you have somebody who's lower in stature of Torah, and he comes before somebody who's great in stature in Torah, he's not allowed to sit without first getting permission from the rabbi or from the Talmid Chacham. V'lachen, therefore he says, Kasher nichnasim leTalmid Chacham, whenever you enter to a Talmid Chacham, kidei leschoach u'lityaetz imo, you want to speak to him, you want to ask him advice. Ein l'shevet ala kisot ha'menuchoshim, you are not allowed to sit down on the chairs that are placed in front of them. Ad sheyikablu reshut mehacham l'shevet, until you're going to get permission from the Chacham to sit down. Rabotai, where does this happen? A lot of times you walk into an office of a rabbi or Talmid Chacham, or you have children that go to yeshiva, you go speak to the Rosh Yeshiva, correct? You walk into the yeshiva, you have over there 2 chairs, you and your wife, bam, you sit down. Who gave you permission to sit down? You first have to ask the Talmud Chacham or the Rosh Yeshiva, or even if you come to a regular rabbi, you want to speak to him, you shouldn't sit down without first getting his permission. He continues over here and he says, Amru Chachamenu Zechrin Levarcha, rabbis of blessed memory said, Mechabadim et Agadol. Rabotai, this is so common. It's common, says Rabotai, but unfortunately today let me put it like this. When we come to shul, right, again, Rabotai, when we come to shul over here, you have a lot of times, forget about right now, Talmud Chacham, not Talmud Chacham. A lot of times you have people that b'chlal, children that run in, right? You see an adult standing. Sometimes we have elderly people walking over here. Nobody holds the door for nobody. They walk in, they walk out, they walk in, they walk out. Rabotai, as parents, we have an obligation to educate our children. Who comes first? First, the adults, Rabotai. Only then do the children follow after. But over here is even something more stronger. He says over there, Mechabadim et Agadol lekanes techila. Whenever you are standing in a Beit HaKnesset or in any entrance, and if somebody that is greater than you in Torah, you have to first give him the honor to come in first. But when it comes to coming out, you don't have to give him the proper honor. Rabotai, nevertheless, he says, Ulam, however, he says, however, he says, today the custom became, even when coming in and coming out, you have to make sure that the Talmud Chacham goes first. Therefore, if you see a Talmud Chacham or somebody who's greater in Torah come to the entrance to come out, you see a Talmud Chacham walking out, somebody who's below in stature should not come out prior to him. They should wait for him to come out, not run out before him. Rather wait until the gadol comes out, and afterwards can he only come out. And how much more so he should not walk in before the gadol. Rabotai, all these halachot of derech eretz is very important. They refine us. They hold us back. They're able to control us. This world, a lot of people think is free. It's ownerless. You could do whatever you want. You could say whatever you want. You could be whatever you want. Rabotai, that's not true. We have to be able to control our actions, what we say, what we do, what we think. In order to be able to do this, Rabotai, we have to be able to learn Torah. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen. Amen.